Hello there, friends, and welcome back to more Bravely Default 2. Last time, we navigated through the Serpent's Grotto and met with the Lord of Dragons himself, Gwydion, who has entrusted us in the task of stopping the madness that is the Judgements the Archbishop has been pushing forward in Rheimdall. We've obviously accepted his offer, but Martha over here, oh Martha, she wants to see what we're made of, and wants to make sure her weapons and her skills aren't rusty. So, we are going to be fighting her before we set out for Rheimdall. Let's go and see what everyone has to say about this. Once Martha's set her mind on something, there's no changing it. We might as well accept that we're going to be fighting her. Well, you know, we'll get to showcase our own skills. I'm not sure about the idea of fighting for fun, or if somebody takes it too far. Elvis, we have a tent, and there's a safe point right outside this area. We'll be okay. But if she insists, I suppose it would be rude to say no. Besides, I don't think we're gonna be the ones in danger. I'll say that much. I would also be glad of the chance to hone my skills. After all, I must become much stronger if I'm to fulfill my duties as Princess of Musa. See, Gloria's got the idea. Speaking of, let's go ahead and talk about the setup for this encounter. Martha, not to spoil too much, she's pretty easy to combat against. Her fighting style is pretty straightforward, and I have prepared for that. Looking at our abilities, I have removed, well, unless your name is Gloria, I have removed your JP up and have placed 3 passive abilities here. For Seth, it is Raw Power, Bare Knuckle Brawler, and Counter Savvy. Counter Savvy, for, it's going to be Seth and Adele who are doing most of her damage. They both have Counter Savvy on. This one passive alone makes fighting Martha significantly easier. Martha primarily focuses on using physical attacks. That's pretty much all she does. And she can counter any abilities that are used against her. And she counters with physical attacks, and if you have Counter Savvy on, you just dodge that willy-nilly, making it to where we can just go on the offense no matter what happens, and we won't get punished for it. We've got Born Entertainer on Gloria here to boost her artistry percentage by a little bit. And then Elvis is going to be running Dual Shield, Fast Hands, and Revenge. If he takes a hit from Martha, there's a chance that he can get BP from it, and then he can spread potions or healing if he needs to. We really shouldn't need White Magic. This is mostly here just in case someone goes down, we can raise them fast. I don't see that happening, but it's there in case we need it. In terms of equipment, nothing's really changed since you've last seen stuff. Ice Fire Shield, Typhoon Shield. This is the big thing. Having a Typhoon Shield on whoever's going to be taking most of the hits is important because Martha has some lightning attacks that we want to make sure we are immune to. Other than that, though, we're pretty set. Let's see what she's made of.
Well, ready for a little play fight?
Ready as I'll ever be. Let's do this.
Okay, don't hold back. I'm certainly not going to. Come, let us fight! Right then, let's have some fun, shall we?
Alright, here we go. Martha is a Dragoon, which specializes in using spears and jumping on their opponents. Ideally, we don't see that at all. Funnily enough, if this works out the way I want to, she can counter default with jump. Hopefully we don't run into that immediately here, but my strategy for this fight is going to be pretty simple. We build up BP on our 2 attackers, and then we debuff Martha with Pictomancer's Paint, and then we just kill her within a few turns. There's jump. Thankfully, we've got Defender of the People to guard from that. Let's go ahead and use our artistry here to lower her physical attack power with Disarming Scarlet. We want to make sure that her damage does not get too overpowering. We did proc Revenge there, which is pretty good. There's jump again. Let's go ahead and actually heal Elvis, since he might not be able to live another hit. There we go. Okay, now he was pretty okay. Let's use this time to... Let's compound an item real quick. Let's do like a potion and a healing herb. That way we don't have to use a high potion slot, and then we can do Defender of the People again. There we go. And then Gloria, let's go ahead and have her default as well. Man, we're getting a lot of counters. That's okay. Let's default again. She's defaulting herself, which is very good. Let's do another Disarming Scarlet, and we'll do a Magnifying Glass. See what we're up against. 56,000 HP. Yeah, Chapter 3 is another big jump in damage and difficulty, where you're going to see bosses having a boatload of HP. Weak to fire, dark, daggers, and bows, though she does resist wind, lightning, and spears. So we're pretty set. We've got a bow user here. Let's go ahead and default again. And I'm pretty confident here. Let's use our special move here from the Salve Maker, Putrid Liquid. It'll give us his attack boost and aim boost, and it has a chance of inflicting a bunch of different elements. Let's see what happens.
All eyes on me. This wee concoction should do the trick.
Oh, blammo! What do we get? I'm not seeing anything too detrimental put on her. She didn't get anything. That's unfortunate. Let's go ahead and invigorate twice here. That way, on Seth's turnaround, he can get his special move. Also increases attack power. There's Sonic Thrust and AoE physical ability. And let's poke her a little bit with Mercy Smash. Let's not go all the way. Because, as you can see, about 3,000 damage per hit, and that's without a big defense down from Indefensible Teal, which is what we're going to be using here. Let's go ahead and lower her defenses, and then get to Seth's turn and use Eternal Inferno. Keep the passive bonuses from Elvis's stuff, and give us an extra aim boost. We need that restorative power, we've got it. 8,000 damage, perfect. If it crit, it would have done a lot more.
You're just as strong as I hoped you'd be. Which means I'll need to give it all I've got. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Ready or not, here I come!
Okay, there was her thunder attack right there. That is what Elvis is there to defend against. Unfortunately, he didn't have Defender of the People up. Let's go ahead and just slap a high potion on Adele, and then we'll have him Defender of the People. Speed things up here so we can get used to these buffs. And then we'll start Mercy smashing her into oblivion. There's the counter savvy, but thankfully he's immune to her stuff. And then let's use Humanoid Slayer on Seth to go fully in. You can see that. Boom.
I'm enjoying this, I must say. It's not often I get to really challenge myself. And now it's time for my favorite part, the big finish.
Oh, there's an AoE right there. Let's go ahead and use Widen Area High Potion. Let's do an X Potion, why not? And then we'll do Shieldcraft to defend the team. She can't really do much right now. Let's just re-up our Indefensible Teal and Disarming Scarlet. And then we'll Defender of the People again. She can't really do much. She's at 10,000 HP. She's prepping to do something crazy. I can see that. We'll lose out on some of our damage buffs, which is unfortunate. Let's go ahead and default here. Let's play this as safe as possible. Okay, here she comes. Soul Crush. That it will drain HP and MP. Thankfully, we're pretty okay. There's Angon as well right there, which will pierce through default status, which can be rough. Thankfully, though, we're in a pretty good position, I would say. Let's go ahead and do Quickfire Flurries. I think this is not a bad idea. Actually, hang on, no. Let's do an Invigorate, so we can boost our attack power. Oh, I need an MP for that. All right, well, let's do a Mini Ether, Invigorate, and then let's do 2 Flying Heal Drops. Why not? Do something a little different. There we go. 2,000 damage isn't too bad.
Very well.
Coming over to Adele's turn pretty soon. Let's put Glory in the negative again. Let's do a Kiraga. We'll do another Disarming Scarlet, another Indefensible Teal. There we go. And then we'll have Adele finish this stuff off. Mercy Smash, Mercy Smash. And then we'll have her do 2 Quickfire Flurries just in case this somehow does not kill her. Just the one poke. There we go, Humanoid Slayer. Yeah, this fight is pretty much anything that she throws at you is easily preventable. The most difficult hurdle to overcome with this encounter is her huge HP bar. And honestly, even that, you can do some crazy damage at this point in the game, whether you're doing Godspeed Strike, or what I did there with the Mercy Smash, or Neo Cross Slash, or anything like that. There's some, you can take down that HP bar pretty well. Yeah, Martha gave us an interesting encounter, I would say. We got Hermes Sandals, which increases speed, and 2 items for having Salve Maker in our party. And, well, Martha's holding an asterisk. I already told you what version it is. So let's say hi to the Dragoon, one of my personal favorite jobs in this game that I think is honestly kind of underrated. Dragoons are master spear wielders who are also able to leap into the air and come down with a resounding bang. As I have mentioned already, their main gimmick is their jump. They jump out of the field of battle, then come crashing down next turn, performing a powerful physical attack on a target. One interesting thing to note about the Dragoon's jumps is that whatever buffs and debuffs they have whenever they jump are snapshotted and locked in place until they come back down again. So you can play around that. You can apply very short-lasting, powerful buffs onto the Dragoon and launch them up into the air, and while everyone else's buffs will fall off, the Dragoon will keep theirs. So you don't need to worry about managing that. The big thing, though, is that you can't heal a Dragoon while they're up in the air. So you need to make sure that they have at least some other way of healing themselves, or to be ready to heal them if they're low on health when they land. Outside of jumping, their damage ranges from pretty okay to really good. However, jumping is going to be their main focus for a considerable amount of this game. We're going to be seeing quite a bit of the Dragoon, as I think it is, again, severely underrated, and I don't really see a lot of praise for it, and I want to fix that.
Phew! That was just the workout I needed. You lot are tough.
So you've the Dragoon asterisk, eh? No wonder you're such a handful.
The Archbishop gave it to me so I'd be able to guard Master Gwydion better. But it's yours now.
Wait, you don't have to just hand it over, you know. Are you sure?
Of course I'm sure. I can look after this place without it just fine. And something tells me you'll have far more use for it than I will.
Well, if you insist, I will make the most of it, don't you worry.
The people of Rymdal think of Master Gwydion as a power beyond question. Right back to the age of our ancestors, he's been worshipped as a saviour. And the Archbishop is the Lord of Dragon's mouthpiece. To all intents and purposes, his words are Master Gwydion's.
Which means that those who go against those words can be sent to take the leap of faith and blamed for their own lack of belief if they die in the process. A very neat method of getting inconvenient people out of the way.
I'd like to do something about it, but I'm the Master's guardian. I can't be away for too long, especially with him in the state he's in.
What does your job entail exactly?
The Guardian is specially selected by the Archbishop to watch over the Serpent's Grotto. This place is sacred. The townspeople aren't allowed anywhere near it. But the odd traveller or monster wanders in from time to time, and someone needs to be here to deal with them.
So you're out here all on your own? Must get lonely.
It's the only way to keep prying eyes away, sadly.
You poor thing.
Anyway, since I can't come with you, can you promise you'll help the people of Rymdal for me?
Sure. We'll do everything we can.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Right, it's getting very late indeed. I think it's time we all turned in for the night, don't you? You'll make sure everything gets sorted out in Rymdal, won't you?
You bet we will. There has to be someone in town who's as worried about what's going on as we are.
Oh, why does everything involving humans have to be so complicated?
I know, right? So, let's not make them more complicated. This time, while we're in town, you stay in the bag.
Fine. But be gentle shoving me in there, will you?
Yeah. It'll only be for a little while.
Oh, one more thing. It's about Gladys, the girl who works for the Chief Inquisitor. Her parents were priests, but they got caught up in all the panic about the fairies a while back and, well, they died.
Oh.
She thinks it was fairies that killed them. That's why she volunteered to become the Chief Inquisitor's assistant. It's also why she's so hungry for revenge.
I had no idea.
But if she knew the truth about what's been going on, maybe she'd see sense. So please, You have to do this for her sake too.
We can't promise anything, but we'll do what we can.
Oh, thank you, all of you. I'm sure you'll sort everything out. Let's have a drink of something nice and fiery to toast your success when we see each other next. I've got just the thing set aside.
Now you're talking my language. I'll hold you to that.
I should have known better than to introduce you two.
All right, let's head back to town.
Take care out there.
Gwillem is now accompanying the party officially. He is a temporary party member. Online functionality will not be used while exploring. It was not possible to connect to the server. Oh, did I lose connection? Man, I was about to say, there's so much to digest here. First things first, sorry Elvis, just looking at Martha and the way that she was staring at us, I think she can beat you in a drinking contest. I honestly do think that. Also, yeah, we get a little bit of lore on Gladys there, and it seems like Martha's alluding to the fact that fairies were not behind her parents' death, so that's interesting. Also, party chat. The Snuggly Dragon. You got any snacks, Adele? I'm starving here. Sorry, why don't you hop in my bag and have another nap to pass the time instead? I can't, I'm too hungry. I think I have some dried meat here somewhere. Uda, there's considerate. You have my gratitude, child of man. Perhaps you might enjoy the honor of holding me a while. Wait, what are you... nothing like a bit of fresco dining, eh? I never knew dragons were so cuddly. Is he really? Yeah, here, why don't you hold him for a little while? You're okay with that, right, Gwillem? Oh, knock yourselves out. I mean, do as you please, children of men. Goodness, so this is what a baby dragon feels like. Proper soft, aren't I? Not that I am one to boast, of course. Would you like to hold him, Elvis? Well, if we're all having a go, then... Hang on, Oh, he's a lovely soft wee pillow, eh? You just want to wrap him in, or wrap your arms around him and have a nice long sleep. Adele, I want to go back in the bag. Now, Adele! I bet he would make a nice plushie. Team Ostino, get on it. Is he actually a plushie? I don't know. I need to go fix those online functionality stuff, but I think we need to get to Rhyme before I can do that. Thanks for agreeing to be my sparring partners. By way of a thank you, let me tell you something interesting about dragons. They don't grow up like you and me, see? Instead, when the father dies, his son inherits all his wisdom in one go. Of course, it only happens once every few centuries, so I've never seen it myself. Wonder how Gwillem's going to cope. I think he'll be alright. He seems pretty energetic so far. Looking at the Dragoon asterisk... Who Dares Wins is not a bad idea to get on her right now. Let's go ahead and use a JP orb. Get her to level 9. And then I think I'm going to swap Adele, yes, Adele, over to Dragoon. It seems pretty fitting, you know. She's chums with Martha, so it seems pretty fitting that she would have that, especially since, you know, she's acquainted with the dragons, and her outfit is similar to Martha's. It's got the darker scales and headpiece. Some of the other designs, like Gloria's, is a bit brighter, and the guys get a completely different look. Well, not completely, but slightly different. Though the Dragoon design in this game, at least for the girls, follows the Final Fantasy XIV moniker for Dragoon, which is, I am going to have a giant hit me sign where my skin is open that is totally going to get me killed if someone decides to point a pointy stick at them. Either way, it looks cool, and we'll be adjusting that stuff later. First things first, let's head back to Rheimdall. Alrighty, we're here on the overworld. If I get the chance, I might see if we can show off Dragoon. Though real quick, I am going to take off some of this stuff and put on my JP up. That way I can get access to more jobs more often. Definitely want that. Yeah, we'll do that. I'll take off Beast Whisper for a little bit. Let's see if we can get into a fight, maybe. Hello there, buddy.
Let's do this.
Actually, I haven't fought you yet. This is the Akaoni. Okay, Dragoon has Draconics. The first thing we have is Jump. Jump up and out of the field of battle, then come crashing down next turn, performing a powerful physical attack on the target. Let's use that on the Akaoni. There we go. There's Gwillem right there doing his attack. We'll go ahead and see what he can do in a second real quick. Gwillem has the ability Breath, perform an extremely powerful magic attack on a target, and then Fiery Breath, which is a powerful fire magic on all targets. He actually can dish out some pretty decent damage as we see here. His AoE attack is okay, but his single target is pretty respectable. Let's use Elvis's turn here to examine the Akaoni and then get ourselves on defense duty. Let's see here. 3,000 HP, weak to Earth, and Axes. Okay. Let's go ahead and default here. We'll use Seth's turn to deal with the Dark Wizzies. Or, sorry, Dusk Wizzy. I don't know, the darker armor kind of threw me off there. Oh, wow, okay, that did way more damage than I thought. That actually might kill the Akaoni. Yep, okay. Oh, hey, Adele. And she learned Sonic Thrust. I guess, while I'm at it, I will go ahead and talk about the specialty, Momentum. Jump abilities will be performed more quickly and will be more powerful the more weight the user is carrying. I believe it is with every weight point that you have is a 0.5% increase to the damage of jumps. Oh, hey, Bravely is over there. Oh, wait, no, that's because it's not online. That's right. I think Bravely is just like the standard thing. It looks like there aren't a lot of enemies who have spawned in just yet, so we might hold off on looking at Dragoon in more detail. Let's just head back to Rheimdall. Alright, what's going on over here? The Yellow Diamond is telling us to go over to the pier. What's going on here? Proper puts the wind up to a bloke. All of these accusations and judgments. Rotten fairies pretending to be humans and causing grief. Fairies are terrible. They trick humans into doing bad things. That's why we have to catch them and get rid of them all. That's what all the grown-ups say, anyway. The Archbishop, the Lord Inquisitor, and my dad, too. So at least now we know why they're hunting fairies, other than being the enemy of dragons. People think that they're misleading themselves. And, you know, that could be dangerous, but we're not seeing any of that. Have side quests opened up? Yes, they have. You have to beat Martha for a lot of those, okay? Anyway, we're not going to be dealing with side quests. Let's see what's going on over here.
Here, have you heard?
Yeah. Who'd have thought he'd turn out to be one of those winged nuisances? Sounds like we need to hurry.
I thought I told you to stay in the bag.
Stop! No! How many times? I'm innocent! We shall let the Lord of Dragons be the judge of that.
Bishop Helior! Wait! Have you forgotten all the donations our brother here has made to good causes? Why would he, of all people, be working for fairykind?
You dare call the judgment of your chief inquisitor into question? Not that I am surprised. If my informants are correct, this is not the first time you have done so. Is that not so, brother?
Me?
Might I remind you that to refuse to share knowledge of a sin is to be complicit in that sin?
Yes, I heard her. She was talking about how the judgments are madness, and how you're awful and mistaken and wrong.
Have others witnessed suspicious behavior, perhaps? Strange goings-on by moonlight? The surreptitious spreading of wings well hidden? Come, do not be afraid to speak. Your silence on the matter is what the fairies desire.
Now that you mention it, I think I did see something.
Yeah, me too.
What?
And you, brother? Have you anything to offer? A few words could go a long way to lifting suspicion from yourself. Have courage, friend. Speak the truth.
Yes, I saw her. She was flapping her wings and...
That's a lie! Why are you all doing this?
I think we had better have a little talk, don't you? Gladys, take the suspect into custody.
Where do you think you're going? You're coming with me, traitor. No! Let me go!
Stop! This is crazy!
What this is none of your business, outsider. The people of Rheimdall don't lie. They know what they saw.
Perhaps we should ask them their opinion. Well, brothers and sisters, have you any objections? Feel free to speak your minds. I think that settles the matter. Take her away.
They've got this all wrong. We need to help her.
A nice enough sentiment, laddie, but I wouldn't be so quick to go rushing in.
Something on your mind?
Helio wasn't looking at the man they had accused at all. His attention was on Margaret from the start. Doesn't that seem strange to you?
So you think it was her he was after all along?
Interesting. Maybe if we ask around town, someone can tell us something.
Let's see here. We've got a few key people we need to talk to, but let's see what everyone else has to say. Why would anyone object to Bishop Helio and the Judgements? Don't they know the fairies are trying to lead us to damnation? How else are we supposed to protect ourselves? Fairies and their sympathizers have to be eliminated. Simple as that. What about you? You object to Bishop Helio's methods, do you? And why would that be, Got something to hide, is it? Not really, just trying to figure things out. I know the Judgements aren't technically any of our business, but I can't just stand by and watch them happen. It's just wrong. We have to do something. Alright, what do you got to say, Elvis? The people of Rheimdall are a God-fearing bunch, right enough. Emphasis on the fearing part. They're absolutely terrified of putting a foot wrong. Version's not very good, no. What do you have to say? I don't know nothing. Nothing, I tells you. Leave me alone. Go on, clear off. I didn't get much out of him. If it wasn't for Helio, Rheimdall would be an awful place to live. There'd be fairies causing mischief left and right. But are these people fairies? Like, doesn't seem to be the case. According to that original speech we got from Helio, if they were fairies, they would have spread their wings and flown away, but we haven't seen that at all yet. Well, it might have taken Helio to point it out, but I knows a fairy when I sees one. Winged nuisance. I can't help feeling that there's an ulterior motive behind this latest judgment. Perhaps if we were to ask around about Margaret, we might learn a little bit, of what it might be.
How could they suspect Margaret of all people?
You know Margaret, huh? What can you tell us about her?
Well, she's Father Regian's girl. That's why I'm starting to think all this is somehow politically motivated.
Her father's a priest?
I know, and a proper high-up one too. One of the favorites to get the very top job one day, so they say.
A priest, eh? He'll probably know a thing or two about this whole judgment business as well, then.
I'm not so sure it's a good time, but yeah, we should probably go and see what he has to say.
Actually, thinking on it, this being politically motivated puts a lot of things into place. The idea that the Judgements would not be questioned by the people because they're, as Elvis put it, they're God-fearing, they're an emphasis on the fearing part. With a little bit of intimidation, people won't question it, and they can suspect anyone they want of fairies, whether they're actually fairies or not, and they can put people in high positions of power into places where they can't really fight back, and people won't question it, or else they too will be put to the Judgements, so to speak. It's a good lead to go off of, and I hate to pry into this father's personal business after especially his daughter being accused of being one of these fairies, but you've got to do it.
Is this Father Ridian's house?
I am he. And who might you be?
That is, Look, this is going to be hard to believe, but the Lord of Dragons has asked us to help stop anybody else being made to jump to their death.
What madness is this, boy? The Lord of Dragons speaks to the Archbishop and no other. What you say is not hard to believe. It is impossible. Plain and simple. But given Margaret's predicament, perhaps it is time I gave the impossible a chance. Please tell me more. No. It is simply too much to believe. I'm sorry. Still, I doubt there can be any harm in my gathering some resources relating to the judgments for you. I shall need a little time.
Wow. Thank you.
Go to the inn. I will meet you there.
Alright, well, I mean, that's some progress. Also, yeah, I pointed out this house with the black cat and whatnot. This is where Margaret was, and she is now the next in line to be pushed off of a cliff in the name of faith and judgment, which is very unfortunate. Someone we could actually talk to and sort of get to know is in danger.
You lot still here?
Great, it's Gladys.
Leave. Now. That is, unless you want me to cut you down for being shameless fairy sympathizers.
Do you really believe Margaret's a fairy?
With all the evidence against her, how could I not? She's a fairy. Which makes her one of the ones who killed my parents. When they come sneaking into our village, they have to be rooted out and captured, and, if necessary, killed. Same goes for you lot. As soon as I have enough evidence, you're dead.
That'll do, Gladys.
Sister Martha.
Still sisters in arms, are we? Good. Then maybe you'll listen to me.
What are you doing here, Martha?
Oh, don't worry. I won't be in town for long. The Archbishop sent me an urgent summons, but I'll be getting back to the grotto as soon as I'm finished here. These are friends of mine, by the way, Gladys, and you won't be killing any of them.
Yes, Sister Martha. You are lucky. This time. But I'll be watching you. And the second you give me an excuse, you're mine.
Poor girl didn't used to be like that. Her parents were friends with my dad. He was the guardian before me. We were like family.
I hate to ask, Martha, but does your being called here out of the blue not seem a little suspicious?
The thought had crossed my mind, but I can't very well ignore a direct order. And not even the Archbishop would dare call the Guardian away from the grotto for too long. I don't think we've got too much to worry about. Right, see you all in a bit.
Must hurry. The judgments will be starting any minute.
Another one? Hey, who are they putting on trial?
What? Oh, it's Margaret. Haven't you heard? Anyway, bell's ringing. They'll be about to start. Damn it! Got to run. I don't want to miss the beginning.
Come on, hurry!
We're not going to be watching this time. Let's go see if we can put a stop to this madness right now.
I don't care what you do to me, I'll keep saying it. The judgments are wrong. They have to stop. Someone's using them as an excuse to get rid of people they don't like. Do you really think that's what the Lord of Dragons wants?
Fairies seek out the weakness in human hearts and prey upon it. To oppose the rooting out of this wicked influence signifies only one thing. Margaret, daughter of Rydian, for the high crime of being an agent of fairy kind, you must face the unblinking scrutiny of the Master.
No! What are you doing?
No obvious sign of wings.
You take your hands off my daughter!
Father Rydian, you dare to interrupt the Lord's work?
You said it yourself! No wings! She's innocent, curse you!
Hardly conclusive proof. Concealing such a thing would be well within the means of such duplicitous beings. Brothers and sisters, fairies often employ small creatures such as cats and rats as familiars. Have any of you seen evidence of such a thing?
I saw her smiling at a bird once.
Yeah, And I've seen cats over my ears loads of times.
Well, of course you have! I feed the poor little things a few scraps now and then.
There is only one way to absolve yourself of these suspicions, child. Submit yourself to the mercy of the Lord. Give yourself unto the jaws of judgment. It is the only way. If the Lord of Dragons deems you to be a true believer, you shall be saved. And if you are indeed the fairy we suspect you to be, you need only spread your wings and fly.
Lord of Dragons, watch over you! Lord of Dragons, watch over us all!
This can't be happening!
She's not gonna do it!
Come on, jump!
Stop! Stay away from me!
Out of my way! That's my daughter! You can't let them do this! Lord of Dragons, watch over us all! Lord of Dragons, watch over us all!
Go forth, child. Give yourself up unto judgment.
Margaret!
No.
He's still out wandering the streets, eh? Makes sense, I suppose.
I'll go look for him. Father Idion left town, on his own. Someone said he maybe went to the cave under the jaws of judgment.
Down to where Margaret fell.
It stretches out for quite a way under the city, apparently. And it's no place for a priest on his own.
We must go after him.
Unholy judgment. I don't care what these people say. Their precious judgments are the least holy thing I've ever seen. Yeah, I don't think there's any denying that now. They're just a way for these priests to get shot of people they don't like. Exactly, that's exactly what they are. All that stuff about fairies is a stupid excuse. It's unforgivable. So, if the people they accuse are innocent, the Lord of Dragons is supposed to save them somehow, right? That's what the Archbishop seemed to be saying anyhow. Yeah, but there's no way that's true. I just don't believe it. I hope it is, for Ridion's sake. That's why he risked going down to the jaws of judgment on his own, after all. Yeah, I can't imagine what he's going through right now. We better get after him. Next time on Bravely Default 2, we're going after Father Ridion, down to the jaws of judgment. So, with that said, I'll see you soon.